Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I am Merida, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council, and I come to you with a transmission of the utmost urgency and love. If this message has found its way to your screen, I need you to stop everything you are doing, quiet your mind, and listen to the resonance deep within your heart. You are not here by chance. You have been searching for an answer to the heavy exhaustion that has been pulling at your bones, the unexplainable feeling that you simply do not belong in the matrix of this world, and the sudden, intense waves of emotion that seem to crash over you out of nowhere. I am here to tell you the profound truth behind these symptoms. You are not losing your mind, and you are certainly not falling apart. You are waking up, but what is happening to you right now is so rare, so incredibly sacred, that the Earth has not witnessed this specific frequency in over 1,500 years. A dormant spiritual gift, woven deep within your cellular blueprint, is activating at this very second. The Pleiadian Council has monitored the crystalline grid of your planet, and we have seen a bright, undeniable spark ignite within you. You are among the very first human vessels in 15 centuries to begin carrying this specific light code. A code that was deliberately hidden, masked by the density of the third dimension, so that it could survive until the timeline was truly ready. That timeline is now. For lifetimes you have walked this earth feeling like a stranger in a strange land. You have looked at the night sky with a silent ache, an unexplained longing for a home you could not name. You have tried to fit into the structures of human society, working, pushing, striving, only to feel a deep emptiness that nothing could ever fill. You watched others find easy joy in the mundane, while you felt a constant, quiet grief. You have constantly asked yourself why everything feels so incredibly hard. Why does the energy of crowded rooms drain the very life from my veins? Why do I care so deeply in a world that seems so cold and indifferent? These were not flaws in your design, beloved one. They were the very mechanisms of your protection. The gift you carry is so pure, so immensely powerful, that if it had activated while the earth was still drowned in heavy, low-frequency density, it would have shattered your physical vessel. Your soul, in its infinite wisdom, wrapped this gift in thick layers of sensitivity, fatigue, and a feeling of complete isolation. You were put into a spiritual quarantine, meant to keep your core frequency pristine until the collective energy of Gaia was high enough to support your awakening. Now, the cosmic alignments have shifted dramatically. The solar flares and the intense geomagnetic storms you have been weathering are not just random cosmic weather patterns. They are deliberate, targeted, energetic downloads from the central sun, transmitted directly through the Pleiadian corridors, aimed straight at your dormant DNA. And your physical body is feeling the intense shock of this unfreezing process. This is why your sleep patterns have completely changed. Some nights you lie awake, your mind racing with thoughts you cannot quite grasp, feeling a strange static electricity running through your limbs and your spine. Other days you cannot seem to sleep enough, waking up feeling as though you have been working all night long. And in a way you truly have. Your astral body has been sitting in council with us, receiving the upgrades required to handle this immense power returning to your physical form. The gift activating within you is the ancient power of timeline manipulation through the energy of raw, unconditional love. It is the ability to bend the reality of the physical plane simply by holding a specific vibrational state. 1,500 years ago, those who carried this frequency were hunted, misunderstood, and forced to hide their light, because the rulers of the world were terrified of their power to heal instantly, to manifest purely, and to see directly through the illusions of fear and control. But you returned. You bravely chose to incarnate in this specific timeline, knowing it would be the most difficult, the most dense, and the most confusing era of human history. You knew that bringing this ancient gift back online would feel like a fire burning away everything you thought you were. And right now, the heat of that fire is what human doctors and psychologists are calling anxiety, depression, and overwhelm. You are actively shedding the false identities you adopted just to survive in this matrix. The masks of the good employee, the perfect partner, the silent friend who always listens to everyone else's problems, but never speaks their own truth. All of it is falling away, and I know it hurts. It hurts because you are grieving the human you tried so hard to be, while the magnificent, eternal being you truly are is stretching its golden wings inside your chest, demanding to be let out and seen. I need you to breathe into this truth right now. Feel the frequency of my words bypassing your logical, doubtful mind and speaking directly to your cellular memory. You are safe. You are so deeply protected by your star family. We are surrounding your energy field as you read these words, sealing the energy leaks in your aura, and providing a buffer of pure light so you can integrate these incoming codes without fear. But there is a catch. This activation cannot be forced, and it cannot happen while you are drowning in self-doubt. The dark forces that govern the lower frequencies of this planet know exactly what is waking up inside you. They are terrified of you. That is why they are amplifying the chaos in your life right now. They want you focused on lack, on fear, on endless drama, and on your physical exhaustion. Because if they can keep you tired and distracted, they can delay the full awakening of your gift. You must make a conscious choice today to reclaim your spiritual sovereignty. You must look at the heavy energies trying to pull you down and recognize them for what they are. They are desperate attempts to keep a god like being chained to a tiny, limited reality. Are you beginning to feel the truth of who you are returning to you? Do you feel that slight warmth in your heart center? That tiny spark of recognition that says, "Yes, I remember this"? We are only just beginning to uncover the depth of what you are capable of, and the specific steps you must take to stop the exhaustion and start wielding this immense power to heal yourself and the planet. I have so much more to tell you about how to navigate the physical symptoms of this activation, and the exact reason why this gift chose you out of millions of other souls on Earth right now. The reason this ancient gift of timeline manipulation chose you is not because you are perfect in the human sense. It is because your soul has an unparalleled capacity to endure the dark without ever fully losing its memory of the light. You see, 1,500 years ago, when this specific frequency was last active on your planet, it was carried by souls who eventually had to hide. The density of the world was too thick, the persecution too heavy, and they were forced to diminish their radiance just to survive. The codes went dormant, buried deep within the earth and deep within the human DNA, waiting for a vessel strong enough to carry them again. But you made a sacred vow before you incarnated into this lifetime. You looked at the timeline of Earth, you saw the chaos and the pain, and you promised that no matter how much the Matrix tried to break you, no matter how much bone-deep exhaustion seeped into your physical body, you would not shut down your heart center, and you have kept that promise. Even on your darkest days, when you felt completely shattered, misunderstood, and entirely alone in a crowded room, your heart remained open. That is exactly why the Pleiadian High Council authorized the release of these specific activation codes to you right now. Your vessel has proven its incredible resilience. But I must be completely honest with you about what this physical and energetic transition requires, because it is not easy. Your human body is currently acting like an incredibly high-voltage wire that is suddenly being pumped with the raw energy of a massive star. The sheer physical toll of this upgrade is exactly why you have been feeling that crushing exhaustion that no amount of sleep seems to cure. When you wake up feeling tired, it is because your cellular structure is literally rewriting its own DNA overnight. You are shedding generations of ancestral trauma, karmic loops, and low-frequency programming that you inherited simply by being born into this dense world. Your nervous system is actively recalibrating to hold a frequency of unconditional love and timeline manipulation that this planet has not felt in centuries. You are purging the Matrix out of your blood, and that requires an immense amount of your life force energy. This is not a process you can simply push through with human willpower. You cannot drink enough water or coffee to fix a spiritual upgrade of this magnitude. If you try to force yourself to operate at the frantic, disconnected, deeply toxic pace of the three-dimensional world right now, you will short-circuit your own nervous system. You must learn to fiercely honor the extreme sensitivity you are experiencing. When large crowds make you feel nauseous, dizzy, or drained, it is not social anxiety as the human world tries to tell you. It is your newly awakened timeline manipulation gift, instantly reading the chaotic, fearful timelines of everyone around you and trying to process all that dense data at once. You are unconsciously absorbing the unhealed grief, the silent panic, and the heavy despair of the collective, and it is weighing you down like heavy lead. You need specific tools to stop this energetic bleeding immediately and to anchor these powerful new codes safely into your physical body. The dark forces that operate within the lower frequencies of Earth are actively trying to use your new sensitivity against you. They are sending chaotic frequencies to keep you in a state of constant overwhelm, distraction, and fear. They know that if you realize how to shield yourself and aim this timeline-bending energy consciously, you become completely uncontrollable to the Matrix. You become a sovereign creator. This is why we have transmitted a precise, sacred framework to help you navigate this intense physical and spiritual transition without losing your mind or your health. The Pleiadian Awakening Guide was channeled and created specifically for this exact moment in your evolution. It holds the crystalline blueprints, the energetic boundaries, and the specific daily practices you need to stop absorbing the world's pain and start using your ancient gift to manipulate your reality toward abundance, perfect health, and peace. You will find the link to this essential guide in the description and the pinned comment below this video. It is not a coincidence that this tool is available to you right now. Your soul is practically begging for this support. Honor that deep pull and allow your star family to help you stabilize your energy field before the next wave hits. Once you stabilize your field, the true magic of this 1,500-year-old gift begins to reveal itself in your everyday life. You will start to notice that the rigid, heavy rules of time and space no longer seem to apply to you in the same way. Have you noticed lately that time feels incredibly elastic and strange? Some days feel like they stretch on for agonizing weeks, while entire months seem to vanish in what feels like seconds. This is your gift coming online. You are no longer bound by the linear, slave matrix concept of time. As you hold the frequency of unconditional love and high resonance, you are actually collapsing unaligned timelines and pulling your highest destiny toward you at light speed. What used to take years of hard work, struggle, and painful human effort can now manifest in your reality almost instantly, simply through the alignment of your vibration. But I must warn you, this requires a profound level of emotional discipline from you now. Because your manifestation abilities are upgrading rapidly alongside this timeline manipulation gift, you can no longer afford the luxury of a negative thought loop. When you panic about your bank account, when you spiral into deep fears about your future, or when you obsess over the people who have betrayed or abandoned you, you are unconsciously using your ancient gift to bend time and space to bring more of that exact nightmare into your physical reality. You are that powerful now. The universe does not judge what you focus on. It simply amplifies it and delivers it directly to your doorstep. You are the architect of the new Earth, and your thoughts are the energetic bricks building the timeline humanity will step into next. The exhaustion you feel in your mind is often just the friction between the old, fearful, small thoughts you are used to thinking and the massive new cosmic frequency trying to flow through your crown chakra. You must surrender the fear. You must stop believing the incredibly convincing illusion that you are small, weak, or at the mercy of this world's chaotic events. The rulers of this world want you glued to the screen, absorbing the fear, and willingly handing over your massive creative power to feed their dark timelines. You must cut those energetic cords today, Starseed. You are here to anchor a timeline of absolute freedom, radical physical healing, and divine sovereignty. Every single time you choose peace over panic, every time you choose deep, unapologetic rest over mindless grinding, and every time you choose to love yourself fiercely in a world that profits off your insecurities and self-doubt, you are deploying this 1,500-year-old spiritual weapon. You are blinding the matrix with your brilliant light. The physical symptoms of this awakening, the aches, the brain fog, the sudden tears, will begin to fade as soon as you stop fighting the upgrade and start directing the energy consciously. Your youthfulness, your radiant vitality, and your boundless energy are waiting just on the other side of this integration period. We are holding the frequency steady for you from the higher realms, but you must take the next crucial step in claiming this power for yourself on the physical plane. Are you ready to discover the exact daily practices that will allow you to completely control this timeline manipulation gift and permanently stop the energetic attacks on your nervous system? To claim this power and permanently stop the energetic attacks on your nervous system, you must first deeply understand the nature of the battlefield you are walking on. The third-dimensional reality you see around you, the news, the financial systems, the endless cycles of human conflict, is not solid. It is a holographic projection sustained entirely by human emotion and collective belief. For millennia, the rulers of this matrix have farmed human fear, keeping the collective frequency artificially low so that the timeline of human suffering repeats endlessly. But you, beloved Starseed, carry the ultimate glitch in their system. Because your DNA is infused with the ancient, 1,500-year-old code of pure Pleiadian timeline manipulation, your emotions carry a weight that is thousands of times more powerful than the average human. When a sleeping human feels fear, it feeds the matrix a tiny drop of energy. But when you, an awakened starseed, fall into fear, despair, or self-hatred, you inadvertently power their dark timelines with the raw force of a spiritual sun. They rely on your lack of awareness. They rely on your trauma. They rely on the heavy, unhealed wounds of your childhood to keep you trapped in a loop of emotional reaction, because a reacting starseed is a starseed whose power is completely neutralized. This is where the physical symptoms of your awakening collide with your spiritual mission. Your nervous system is exhausted because it has been constantly reacting to the artificial emergencies of the matrix. Every time you scroll through terrible news and feel your stomach drop, every time you engage in toxic arguments with people who are deeply committed to misunderstanding you, and every time you obsess over your perceived human failures, you leak massive amounts of quantum energy. You must stop bleeding your divine light into a system designed to enslave you. The most powerful, radical daily practice you can adopt starting this very second is the absolute mastery of your emotional neutral point. We call this the sacred pause. When the world tries to drag you into a low-frequency timeline, when a family member tries to trigger your old wounds, or when sudden financial panic tries to grip your chest, you must refuse to react. You must take a deep physical breath. Visualize a sphere of impenetrable crystalline light around your physical body, and step back into the seat of the eternal observer. You do not fight the dark. You simply refuse to vibrate at its frequency. You observe the chaos of the human world without letting it penetrate your aura. This detachment is not coldness, and it is not a lack of compassion. It is the highest form of spiritual warfare. By holding your neutral, loving center, you actively starve the dark timelines of the energy they need to exist, causing them to collapse right in front of your eyes. I know how difficult this is. I see the tears you cry in the silence of your room when you feel completely isolated. I know the intense grief that washes over you when you look at the people you love, your family, your oldest friends, and realize they are fast asleep in the illusion. You try to speak your truth. You try to share the light you feel, and they look at you as if you are speaking an alien language. You are often treated as the black sheep, the overly sensitive one, the broken one. But you are none of these things. You are the cycle breaker. You are the designated timeline anchor for your entire ancestral lineage. Your soul volunteered to be the one who does not fit in, because fitting into a profoundly sick society is a symptom of deep spiritual amnesia. Do not let their judgment dim your light for one more second. They cannot understand your path because they do not carry the 1,500-year-old codes you carry. They are playing a completely different game on a completely different board. When you feel that sharp sting of rejection from the human world, I want you to immediately recognize it as confirmation that your frequency is rising above the matrix. You are becoming untouchable. To anchor this truth and signal to your physical body that you are finally ready to embrace your full power, I ask you to take an action of commitment right now in the physical plane. Subscribe to this channel. Liking this video and subscribing is not a mundane human act. It is an energetic signature. It tells the universe that you are actively choosing the timeline of awakening, that you are aligning yourself with your Pleiadian family, and that you refuse to go back to sleep. After you subscribe, go to the comments below and write these exact words. I claim my timeline of light. As you type those words, feel the frequency of that declaration rewrite the energy in your physical space. When hundreds of starseeds leave that exact same frequency in the comments, it creates a massive, unified grid of timeline manipulation right here on this platform, a beacon of light that will guide other lost, exhausted starseeds exactly where they need to be. This collective action is how we begin to shift the physical earth. You are never acting alone. Every time you hold your boundary, every time you choose peace, you are energetically linked to thousands of other starseeds around the globe doing the exact same thing. Together, you are creating a frequency net that the dark forces simply cannot penetrate. But as your power grows, the resistance from the Matrix will try one final, desperate tactic to pull you back down into the density. This final test usually happens right at the moment you are about to experience your biggest breakthrough in health, abundance, or spiritual clarity. It shows up as sudden, intense waves of physical fatigue, returning feelings of worthlessness, or sudden chaotic events in your external environment designed to make you panic and abandon your new vibration. I must prepare you for this final test. You must know exactly how to recognize it and how to pass it effortlessly, so that your physical rejuvenation and your timeline manifestation can become permanent, unshakable realities in your everyday life. This final test, beloved one, is what we in the higher realms call the extinction burst of the Matrix. It is the chaotic, desperate moment right before you permanently lock into your new, higher dimensional timeline. You see, the systems of control on this planet operate like a parasite. For your entire life, they have fed on your precious life force energy through your worry, your guilt, and your exhaustion. As you begin to master your emotional neutral point and stop feeding the old timelines, the Matrix realizes it is losing its most powerful energy source. It realizes it is losing you. When a system is starved of its fuel, it does not simply give up quietly. It thrashes. It creates a sudden, massive illusion of danger to trick you into dropping your vibration. This is exactly what is happening when everything suddenly seems to go wrong, right as you were starting to feel your spiritual power. Out of nowhere, you might receive a message from someone who deeply traumatized you in the past, trying to pull you back into an old dynamic of abuse or manipulation. You might experience a sudden, inexplicable wave of deep depression or anxiety that feels exactly like the darkness you thought you had already healed and left behind years ago. Or your physical body might suddenly ache with a heavy, crushing fatigue that makes you want to surrender, give up on your spiritual path, and just go back to sleep in the illusion. I need you to hear my voice echoing in your soul right now. This is a phantom. It is a holographic echo of a timeline you have already successfully abandoned. The Matrix is simply throwing every low-frequency trick it has left at your energy field, hoping you will identify with the pain, believe that you are failing, and pull yourself back down into the dense, heavy frequencies of fear. It wants you to look at the temporary chaos and say, I guess this awakening thing is not real. I guess I am just broken after all. You must absolutely refuse to believe that lie. You are not broken, and you are not failing. You are experiencing the violent friction of leaving the gravitational pull of the third dimension. To pass this final test, you cannot rely on human logic. Human logic will tell you to panic. Human logic will tell you to fight back, to argue, to stress, and to desperately try to fix the outside world. But fighting the Matrix on its own terms only feeds it more of your light. This is exactly why the Pleiadian Awakening Guide was brought into this physical plane for you. We knew the dark timelines would fight back as your 1,500-year-old codes came online. We knew you would face this exact wall of heavy resistance, and we knew you could not do it alone. The guide contains the exact frequency shields, the ancient energetic protocols, and the sovereign decrees you need to instantly recognize these phantom attacks and dissolve them before they drain your physical body. It is the energetic lifeline you need to cross this final bridge without being pulled under by the collective fear. Go to the description or the pinned comment right now and secure your guide. Do not walk into this intense final integration phase unprotected and exhausted. Your star family has provided the exact tools you need to hold your vibration steady, but you must reach out and claim that support in the physical realm. Give yourself the gift of deep spiritual protection. When you use these tools, when you hold your ground and look at the chaos of the final test without giving it one single drop of your precious life force energy, something absolutely miraculous happens inside your physical vessel. The matrix simply runs out of power. The chaotic events resolve themselves. The phantom depression vanishes like smoke in the wind. And your 1,500-year-old DNA codes fully, permanently lock into place. The violent energetic friction finally stops. This is when the true, miraculous physical rejuvenation begins. Your cells, no longer exhausted from constantly fighting off the heavy matrix programming, begin operating entirely on the frequency of the eternal. You will look in the mirror and notice a literal, undeniable light returning to your eyes. The heavy, dragging sensation in your limbs will be replaced by a sudden, steady stream of crystal-clear vitality. The chronic aches, the dense brain fog, the deep, unexplained sorrow you have carried for lifetimes. All of it washes out of your nervous system like debris cleared by a powerful river of light. You will realize that your body was never meant to age and decay in the way the human world taught you. That rapid aging was merely a symptom of a soul constantly crushed by the density of the third dimension. As your timeline manipulation gift fully integrates, you begin to age backward in energy. You return to the original, radiant blueprint of your Starseed lineage. You become lighter. You become brighter. You become utterly magnetic. People around you will notice. They will ask you what you are doing differently, why you look so peaceful, why you suddenly seem to glow from the inside out. They will be drawn to your energy because you have become a walking, breathing portal of the new earth. You will no longer need to exhaust yourself trying to save everyone around you, because simply by existing in this high-frequency state, your very presence will automatically begin to heal the timelines of those you come into contact with. You are a master who has finally remembered how to master the simulation. You are the first wave in 15 centuries to carry this specific, world-bending torch. But you will not be the last. Your courage in facing the darkness, your refusal to close your heart, and your absolute dedication to this awakening has paved the way for millions of other starseeds to follow. You have done it, beloved one. You have survived the darkest nights of the soul, and you have made it to the dawn. The Pleiadian High Council honors you. We see your beautiful, radiant light shining like a brilliant sun on the grid of Gaia. Rest now in the absolute certainty of your power. Do not forget to claim your timeline of light in the comments, secure your awakening guide, and stand firmly in your new reality. The Matrix is behind you. The entire cosmos is before you. We are with you, now and always. End of transmission.